For today, we're going to be talking a little drowning pool with Mr. Ryan McCombs. How are you, sir?
I am doing good. How are you?
I'm doing just dandy, man. We're outside of
Good,
Philadelphia.
good.
I saw, let me see, I saw you perform with Soil at Rock on the Range 2012, I think it was.
Okay.
Killer, man. And I mean, I've seen Drowning Pool a couple of times too. So it's so when I first heard about you coming back to the band, I was stoked, man. Um, what's
No,
it,
I
what's it,
appreciate that. Thank you.
what's it like to be back with CJ and the guys, man?
It's been awesome. I mean, we it all started with some text messages back and forth with Stevie and I early last year, and Stevie is from Texas. And if anybody out there doesn't know someone directly from Texas, they are not a small talk kind of person. They are
Everything's bigger
uh,
in Texas, man, you know?
right. They're not a small talk person. So when all of a sudden the Stevie and I we'd message each other once in a while through the years about like something to do with football, whether it was college or pro. But it was always just random and just very short. So all of a sudden, about an hour and a half into this small talk between Stevie and I was like, "Are you okay, man? Like, is everything okay? Is everybody fine? Is everybody healthy? Is everybody good?" He's like, "Oh yeah, everything's great." And about 30 seconds later, he goes, "Actually, he's kind of wondering if you'd be up for doing some reunion shows." I was like, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've missed playing with these guys. I missed taking the stage. I missed writing with these guys. And when we first parted ways, it was supposed to be just a couple months. It was supposed to be like we needed a little break. And
Sure.
then next thing you know, 13 years later, we're jumping back in the shoes again. But anyway, no. So it was like you up for some reunion shows. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, let's do this. And about 2 weeks after Stevie and I spoke, the manager got a hold of me. He's like, I don't know, you're back in the band, man. We got a show in 2 weeks, so we got to get some flights arranged. And so I walked around. I live in England. I've lived in England for the last 7 years, and I was walking around England with my headphones on, listening to all the old songs, trying to remember the lyrics and everything. There you go. Yeah, making me miss home. And
Hmm. All right, so this is part two of our interview with Ryan from Drowning Pool. Now that Portland's helping out, being on the road, and sometimes Wi-Fi happens, man. But when we left off, Stevie had talked you up about a reunion. A manager called and said, "Look, we got shows in 2 days. Take it away."
right, yeah, he called. He called. He was like, "Man, we got a couple shows in like 2 weeks time." So I was walking around England listening to the new music, trying to remember the lyrics, or not new music, but listening to the tunes, trying to remember
37 stitches.
lyrics.
How does that go again?
Right, right. That's exactly the way it was. And then all of a sudden, about because yeah, it was like you went from doing a couple of reunion shows to like 2 days later, hey, you're back in the band, we're doing these shows, let's go do it. And
Yeah.
so I flew into Dallas like 2 days before the first show, and we rehearsed real quick, and it was cool. I went from the airport straight to the rehearsal spot, and other than the fact that we all had to hold our phones a little farther from our face when we were reading the messages between songs.
Gotcha.
Other than that, man, it was like we never missed a beat, and it was fire ever since. I mean, instantly, we're just Stevie, Mike and CJ and myself. We've been writing, and just the shows of the demand for the band has increased, and we've just been busy as hell on the road to the point to where we have all this new music, but we can't find the time to record it. So we actually on this run right here, our producer flew out and stayed with us on the road for a few days just so we could get some pre-production done,
Okay.
so that we'd be ready to hit the studio as soon as we have a couple of days off.
So now, from the time you came back to into Dallas and met up with the guys again to the writing and recording for of the song Revolution, what was the time frame there?
This song had been done for so long before the final product was ever there. And
Wow.
that's exactly what I mean by we've got so many songs in the chamber right now.
Oh, wow.
Um, just like, and that was that we've had for the same amount of time, but we just haven't had the time to get into a studio and get them kicked out properly. So we were piecing together Revolution by like we'd have the band wise would have a few days here or there while I was off having to do something else, and then I would have a few days to jump in and try something. And we really attacked this song differently than we did anything from our first run together, where the two studio albums we did together, I wrote probably 95 to 99% of the lyrics of those albums. And I've with Soil and stuff, I wrote everything.
Yeah.
Lyrically speaking.
Okay.
I can't play an instrument for shit, but lyrically speaking, I've always been blessed with good musicians to
Sure,
be able to work with.
Clearly, yeah.
But this time we even we literally all sat around the table and were throwing lyrical ideas at each other and pieced the song together with that, which caused a little bit of a hiccup for me in the studio, because it wasn't like some of the lines weren't necessarily natural. And so I kind of had to learn how to, okay, this was the line that everybody liked, but how would I say that so that I can remember it night in and night out?
Sure. Yeah, with your verbiage and your intonation. Yeah, sure.
Right. So, and there were different times, even with some of this new music, some of the more humorous times that I've had here recently. We'll be writing something, and there's a song that we're writing right now, and we're actually going to jump into this. I'm actually cutting the vocals for it as soon as this run gets over. We're very excited about it, and like I throw out a lyrical idea, and they'd be like, "Yeah, that doesn't fit. That doesn't fit." I'd be, "Well, yeah, you just say it like this." And like, oh yeah, that's awesome. you got to put
trust me on this one. Trust me.
Yeah, you got to put a certain amount of Indiana flatbilly on that thing, and it works out just fine.
That's so cool, man. And the song itself is just, there's so much energy, and it's just so cool to see you back with the band. And the video is perfect for the song, because you're right amongst the fans, and playing live, and then of course from the parking lot the video goes into this into the venue on stage. And I don't think that could have been a better video for this song. It just encapsulates all the energy for the song.
I appreciate that, but it's very rare, especially when you've had the schedule that we've had recently. It's very rare that the planets align, the stars align, that whatever aligns. It's very rare that happens, and it just so happened that they came to us about wanting to do a video for the song, and we had a show at Speaking Rock, El Paso, which we've done on an annual basis, and they've become kind of family. They're not they have become family, and so it was so cool that was coming up. So it was kind of a no-brainer to shoot the video there at a show, and yeah, it was cool. People came out early and was involved. Those aren't extras; those are fans that came out to the show that are in the parking lot scenes, and
so cool.
It was cool, especially for this band, because this band's always been about the fan. We've always had a very clear grasp on the fact that our careers are owed to the people that have given us time of their lives and given us given us and our music the support that they have. So It was cool to be able to incorporate some of those people into the video and everything.
Playing a venue like the Whiskey or some large festival, I'm sure that's a rush, and it's got to be cool. But playing even a club like Speaking Rock, where the band has said, like you said, it's almost like a home away from home. That has to rank up there too. Just being in front of that type of crowd and that type of energy.
Yeah, this year has been a blast, because we've gotten on a lot of your major Danny Wimmer Presents festivals, your Louder Than Life, Sonic Temple, Welcome to Rockville. We got Aftermath coming up here in a few days in Sacramento, and being able to be back, doing that kind of stuff again, and it's been wonderful. I mean, it really has been a new life for the band and everything. And not that the band, I mean, the band's always been doing well. I mean, not take anything away, but us getting back together again, we've definitely had some doors open that's been cool to step through and get back into some of those things again. It's been fun for everybody.
You guys are on the road now on the No Authority tour, wrapping up. I think it is next week. You guys doing VIP meet and greets and so forth with the fans?
We do. You can visit the Drowning Pool website or the Drowning Pool page .com, or you can hit the Facebook. Everybody's on Facebook nowadays, so you can hit the official Facebook page, my official Facebook page, and just do a little bit of scrolling, and you'll quickly come across, or Instagram, and you'll quickly come across the links for the National Acts VIP packages through National Acts, the VIP packages that we offer through National Acts. And it's cool, man. It's fun. Fans come up on and spend some time with us up on the bus, and we just
Oh,
hang
right
out
on.
and share stories and laughs, and maybe tip a beer or two, and just have a relaxed time, and have a good time. Make some memories together before we hit the stage, and make some more memories.
So obviously the fans are stoked to have you fronting the band again. Good words for you.
It's been a great response. And I think they're appreciative of the fact that we as a band recognize the unique position that this band is sitting in. And by that, I mean, as far as the material goes, um, it's very easy to break Drowning Pool down into eras. If you want to break it down into eras of
Sure.
singers alone, you've got Davey, you got Gong, you got myself, you got Jason Moreno. But the one constant in there is the fact that Stevie, Mike, and CJ, it's all Drowning Pool, because you've always had the constant, the music. You've got the three guys behind the music always there. So, but it's easy to break the band down into eras if you just look at a singer aspect. And the band is very conscious. We are, as a whole, we're very conscious of acknowledging the fact that there's going to be people out there that are a fan of this era, that era, my era, whatever it is. So we try to incorporate songs, and for the live show, we incorporate songs from every era, so that people that maybe their favorite album was Desensitized, maybe it was Hallelujah, maybe it was of course Sinner,
Resilience,
or maybe it was maybe it was Full Circle. We incorporate songs from every era, and because we appreciate the fact that we've been allowed to be around so long, and we've got all those eras.
Got a big catalog.
So yeah, we want to make sure and everybody leaves with a smile on their face.
From the vocalist standpoint, uh, what's your mindset when you're singing somebody else's song? Do you try to make it your own? Do you just
I've ran into that a lot, because really my biggest problem, my biggest issue, because I'm comfortable with singing Dave's stuff in my voice, because I did it for years, between 2025 and 2011.
Sure.
I'm comfortable with the fact that there's differences there, because Dave and I had very different voices. I rely more on, I'm lucky if I scream in key. I rely more on just the fact that I'm a short little dude with a lot of power that comes out of the throat. That's all I got. That's all I got. That's all I can run with.
It's worked so far, man.
Dave, like, he had a melodic, just when he spoke. Like, it's weird when you go back and listen to some of the stuff off of Sinner. Sometimes it's just like he's talking, but yet he had a melody to his words that even when his voice is so calm, there was still a melody that it hits you as if he's singing, but really it's so subdued that he's almost just talking the words, but he's talking it with the melody. So all the singers are so different. The Jason Jones, I think his era of music, I don't have an issue with at all, because I mean, I think the guys were looking for a certain singer at that point, a certain type of singer at that point, and I happened to fit that thing. Jason Moreno, I knew him well before we parted ways, and Jason came in, and I've always been an admirer of his vocal talents, but our voices, our tones are very different. So that is where I tend to probably be the most conscious of those differences, because I want fans to leave not going, well, that was weird. I want them to leave being happy with what they've heard, and so it's, a lot of times you're not going to think, well, it's naturally going to be different. I think a lot of people out there just expect a singer to sing it the
Yeah,
same way because singers are professional and they should be able to know. We all got different tones. We all got
of
a
course.
different aspect of our voices. And Jason and Moreno's and I voices are very different. So I'm very conscious about that. The guys are very supportive in the fact that they're like, man, just sing it your way. But I try to match as much as he did with like finger in a fist and stuff. So um, that's probably that's the one area that I have probably the most difficulty on, just because I myself want the songs to I want the people that are fans of those songs to be happy with what they're hearing.
I mean, the music's going to sound like the music. You don't want the
Right.
vocal to sound like a cover band or something. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
it's got to fit in there. So
Yeah.
you know,
Exactly.
I mean, you guys just played Louder Than Life, and I saw some of the videos for that, and yeah, I mean, just a killer set, man. I mean,
Oh, thank you.
up against singing, Tear Away and Bodies and those songs. It's got to be a rush to have all the fans, getting behind you and singing along, and yeah, man.
Tearaway's exceptionally special because I know what where Dave's head was when he wrote the lyrics to that song. I know what the
Hmm.
song originally meant to him, but then because of my relationship with him and now being in the band that that he wrote the the Drowning Pool record, center
Yeah.
with, um being able to sing those songs is special. But that one in particularly, because I know like I said, I know what it meant to him when he wrote it, and it means something completely different for me. I mean, especially when you get in that second verse and you know, um, do I really want this? There's
Yeah.
so many different lines. There's so many different lines in it that I know had nothing. What I'm getting out of it has nothing to do with what he originally did, but because of that connection with him, and because of being in the position that I am now, that song has completely different meaning for me, but is still a very emotionally charged song.
Well, that's that. Thank you for sharing that. That's pretty special, man. And I also saw the cover of Cowboys from Hell from Pantera.
Yeah,
Come on. I mean, you know, how special is the music that Diamond and Vinny left us? Crazy.
you can't put a number to it, man. The We used to do that back in the day during our first time together. We used to throw that out every once in a while. So on this run, we were like, let's just throw it back out there again once in a while. So when we're feeling it, we just like, let's have some fun, put some smiles on some faces. It was funny because we played a show in Anaheim just a week or so ago, and Set It Off Festival, which is really cool to be a part of. But all the other bands on it were much. We have a very I love our audience because you look out in the crowd and you have everybody that is like our age and even older, and then you have like their kids
Sure.
and some in some cases their grandkids. Whereas this particular festival we were doing, it was like all like our fans as kids, our original fans. It was all like a very very Gen Z Gen Z crowd,
Copy that.
and we played Cowboys from Hell at that, and we were laughing afterwards. It was like, did you ever think that you would play Cowboys from Hell and that song would get the least response? Because there was probably a good number of people in the crowd going, oh, this is a cool song by Drowning Pool. I've never heard this
Yeah.
one before.
They're playing their new stuff? Really? Really?
Right.
Wow.
So we had a chuckle about that, but that was a very cool show to do, man. It was actually a great evening. But we did get a chuckle about that afterwards because it was like, man, did you ever think Cowboys would get like oh, wait a minute, shh, shh, it's a new song, it's a new song, check it
It's
out.
time to go to the bathroom. Let's go to the concession stand. Do you get to go to shows much, Ryan? I mean,
I know.
doing music stuff and then your own personal stuff. You get to go out and actually see shows at all?
I don't because singing for two national bands. This year has been. I've only got maybe 3 or 4 days at home,
Wow.
and then all of a sudden I'm back out for a month and a half, or and then I'm home for like 2 days or 5 days, then I'm back out for another 2 months, and that's been my entire year. So I don't know if you can hear it, but the voice is tired.
Gotcha.
and
Yeah. Well, you're wrapping it up, so yeah.
but the yeah, but the I don't get much time when I am home. You know, after you're away from after I'm away from the wife for a month and a half, I just kind of want to keep her to myself and stay at home for the 2 or 3 days that I get. Um, but I don't. So no. To answer your question, no, I don't. CJ is good about it. If we could play 7 shows in a row, we could play 37 shows in a row. It doesn't matter. If we had one day off, CJ would take that one day off, and he'd be like looking at the local like
See who's in town.
entertainment to see what band is in town because he's going to go see a show.
So now, when you play a festival, like on Sunday, you guys are playing Aftershock.
Yeah,
If there's time permitting, you'll hang around and check out a set or two.
hopefully we can. Yeah, time permitting, absolutely. That's one of the best things about being on those festivals like that is the backstage area is very much like a big family reunion.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
you're back there with bands that you've shared the road with. When you've been blessed with having a career as long as we've had thus far, we've shared the road with just about everybody out there. So those festivals, a lot of times, you're getting to see those band members that you haven't seen in a long time. You're getting to see crew guys that you've shared the road with, and so it's a big, very much a big reunion type situation backstage. Except for there's none of those ants that want to rub their beards on your faces when they kiss you or anything like that. It's um,
yeah.
it's a good time. So yeah, hopefully we'll get some time to check out bands. I know CJ and I handle most of the press for Drowning Pool, and I know that every day I tend to get an email that some more press has been added for Aftershock. So I think once we're done playing, we're going to be in the press tent
Just right to the tent. Yeah.
for quite a while.
Like I said, I when we lost connection, I found this picture that I took from. I hope you can see this.
Oh boy,
That's from Rock on the Range 2012.
yeah.
That was
Look
for
at
the
that
photo
kid.
pit. Yeah,
There's
that
not
was.
there's not nearly as much white hair in that goat right there.
But yeah, I mean, seeing and like from a fan's perspective too, like seeing all them bands in one festival. I mean, come on, man. So many
Yeah,
festivals have gone by the wayside. I know there's talk. I think this weekend, Mayhem Festival has a one-off, and then hopefully, rumors are they'll kick up next year. So,
yeah.
um, but the touring, I know it's a money issue. It has to be, to perform to put those many bands on a traveling festival. I mean, Danny does a great
Still
job
traveling post, yes.
with those ones, that Danny Wimmer does, but the traveling festivals are just, I mean, they've all gone away.
Yeah, they have. I miss it because those were always fun because it was kind of like being part of a. I mean, it's the closest thing I can imagine to like being part of like a circus,
Sure.
traveling from town to town.
Yeah.
Um, but they were all the old Ozfests and stuff like that were a crew fest, very much like that. It was very cool to be a part of. Yeah, but being on these Danny Wimmer Presents festivals, in like the Upheaval Festival in Michigan is very cool. And then I got the opportunity to go over to Europe when there was a little bit of downtime. We had like just a few weeks off Drowning Pool wise, and I hit up some of those European festivals, and they're very similar to the Danny Wimmer Presents festivals. Very pro, very
Hmm.
very, very cool to be a part of. So it's been a great year. I mean, like I said, the voice is tired. I'm tired. I'm ready to spend a little bit of time sitting on my own couch and sleeping in my own bed. But it's been an awesome year.
What does Drowning Pool have for the rest of the year? Is it
We've
going to be
got
recording or is it more touring or?
we've got the rest of this tour here. I think counting today, I believe we have 8 more shows. I think we have this is the first of 3 in a row, then a day off, then five in a row to close it out. And then we're going to be in Dallas I believe right now the idea is to fly our producer into Dallas, and me and CJ, and his name is Sean McGee, our producer, out of Vegas. The three of us are going to sit down and try to get some vocals laid down and get some hard guitar tracks laid down. And then we have a fly date to a festival with Mudvayne, excuse me, with Mudvayne and El Nino and several other bands down in Mexico, in
Wow.
Mexico City. I think that's the 27th is when that festival is, or 26th. It's called the New Metal Revolution Festival down there in Mexico City. And then I'm flying home for a few days before I start up another tour over there with the solo guys.
Crazy, man. So new music hopefully next year sometime.
We're planning on I mean, fingers crossed. This is because of our schedule being so
Sure. Oh,
busy.
sure.
We kept announcing. Me and CJ in interviews, we'd say we're gonna have a new, talk about Revolution. We're gonna have a new song out, you know, in September. And in September would come and go, and we'd be like, we'll have it. Or I think the first one was like June or something like that. Then that
Wow.
came and went. So then was like it just kept happening all year long. It was kind of, we open our stupid mouths and put a date on it, and then that date would come and go. And
TBD.
yeah, so right, like ideally, I think we are all on the same page. Where ideally, we'd love to have another song out by the end of the year, with a new album coming out in 2025. But I don't know if we can make that. I don't know if we can make that happen time wise. But we've got so much killer material that I'd love the opportunity to get something out there before the end of the year, like another single before we release a record in 2025.
Well, fans can stay tuned to drowning-pool.live to find out all the information, and of course on all the socials. Kick ass tonight in Portland, man. Have a great
I
time at
appreciate it.
Aftershock, and I will talk to you down the road for sure.
Well, thank you so much for your time and for your patience with dealing with the connection or the lack of connection I was getting on my way to Portland here. I appreciate it.
No worries, Ryan. You take care of yourself, man.
We'll do. You too.
Cheers.
Everybody out there. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Later.
Bye.